Hey, so I had somebody ask me the other day why I had stopped blogging, or at least they mentioned it to me, and guiltily I said that I just didn't have time and blah blah blah. But the truth is, as I said in my last post, is that I had no idea what to write about. I didn't feel like I could be inspirational at all, because that's like my main goal. And this person said to me, why does it have to be inspirational? And I was thinking, well, what's the point of having a blog if you're just about to talk about sad stuff? And once I thought about it for a second, I realized how wrong it would be for me to get on here and tell you how awesome I'm doing with my borderline and bipolar if I'm not. Because that only makes people look who don't have either disorder or any disorder at people like us and say, oh, well, you're fine. Everybody can live with these illnesses. Everybody can just have a great day and be fine. And that's definitely not true. My whole goal is to get on here and be honest and admit that I'm not doing okay. Last week was terrible. I've been having weeks that are fine and then weeks that are horrible. And then in the weeks that are bad, there's days that go from like the extreme high of being happy and just full of life to the lowest of depression that I have ever experienced. And it's frustrating because I'm on so much medicine. It's a process. It's a journey, I guess. But it is not as easy as I thought it was going to be. I have never, ever wanted to give up so much as I did last week. I don't think having been abandoned, abused, thrown under the bus, hurt, beaten, everything that I've experienced that's been crappy, I don't think I've ever felt as bad as I did last week. And I know if you've experienced what I'm talking about, it's so scary. It's terrifying to have one part of you wanting so badly to feel a certain way, and the other part of you feeling the way that you don't want to feel for no reason. It's like grief and anger and hurt and abandonment and shame, guilt, everything all at once over I don't even know what. It was hard. I had the feelings of abandonment when I didn't have somebody to be there for me while I was going through it. That's the borderline. But there's also the other half of the borderline where I literally cannot stand any because they're not doing what I want them to be doing for me. And then my mood swings were so severe. I've never ever had such a high and low. And I mean within hours. Well, I'm lucky because I have two really amazing friends. One of them is my boyfriend. And the other is the other half to my Thelma and Louise. They've put up with me through episodes about nothing. Tears, anger. I have been a real tool. But my point for this, besides explaining where I've been, is that maybe the inspiration lies in being able to stand up and say that mental illness is not easy to deal with. I've seen some posts on Pinterest or any quote site that says you wouldn't walk up to somebody and say, "Oh, well, you have cancer, get over it." Like people will say about people who have depression. If mental illness has such a stigma, if we hide behind it because we're embarrassed or guilty or shameful because of what we have, people are going to think what they think. And they're going to anyways. But if we stand up and say, this is my life. You know what, this past Monday, I started school. I had to go out into the world with normal people and have to function. And Monday was horrible. And I went into it with such a good attitude. I was so excited for school to start. And when I was trying to suppress this anxiety that felt like an elephant sitting on my chest that I couldn't breathe, it just got worse. It was suffocating. As much as it is hard, it's so hard to look at people and be like, why don't you understand me? People who don't have a mental illness don't know what it's like to fight their own brain. To be scared because there's literally nobody that can save you but you. There's nobody else that can do it. There can be people that support you. There can be drugs that alleviate your pain. But at the end of the day, we're alone with ourselves, with our brains, with our thoughts, with these I've posted that I used to go to the Ohio State University. I was in the honors program. When I was in high school, I was all honors, graduated with an honors diploma, diploma of distinction, 4.2 GPA. I love intelligence and knowledge in school. I love it. My mind has always been the one thing that gave me a place in this world, that gave me something to be proud of. And now my own mind is attacking me, tearing my life apart in front of my eyes, hurting people that's close to me, making me cry myself to sleep, making me feel like I'm literally going insane. That is so hard for people to understand. And I don't want to sit here and admit that some days I feel like I'm nuts. But I do. I don't want to sit here and admit that I apologize to my two closest friends 1,000,000 times a day because they have to put up with me. But I do. I don't want to admit any of these things. But I have to because it's true. So if you're watching this, maybe this seems like a sad video. Sure, a lot of it is sad. It's hard to deal with. It's not something that I'm happy about. The inspiration in this video is that it's okay to be sick. Because as much as you don't want to admit it, it's not your fault. It's not my fault. We're strong because we stand up and say we have a mental illness. We're strong because we can admit that we're suffering. We're strong that we can keep living even though people think we're crazy. Because they don't understand us. We're strong because a lot of the time we are literally alone. But you're still here if you're watching this. I'm still here. And small victory for me, I didn't have one episode yesterday. That doesn't mean I won't have an episode tomorrow or by the end of tonight. But yesterday I didn't. And that was a good end to a terrible week. So, I am sorry for hiding behind my stigma, for letting my mental illness describe me. I'm sorry that I sat here and let myself be labeled. I'm not bipolar. I'm not borderline. I live with those things, but that's not who I am. And it's not who you are either, no matter what you have. Or even if you don't have anything. So, thank you for watching, and I hope that in your own way, you are victorious.